But before we get to any of our games and activities and things that we really want to do for you tonight, I have a little story to tell you guys. Because today is a crazy day, just a lot of weird things happening. It's exam week. We're all ready to go home. I overslept this morning, and I was supposed to meet a student in my office to discuss some things. It was just one of those mornings. Woke up late. Okay, so I just got to get to my office super fast. So I jump out of bed, put on some clothes, run out the door, run across. I'm going to cross the Bridge of Nations because of the Christmas lights. It's wonderful. And I get to the steps of the Bridge of Nations out there, and I look out, and right there on the Bridge of Nations is a rabbit. What? Rabbit. Is a rabbit. A rabbit. Just, this big, sitting on the Bridge of Nations. My first thought was, okay, it's like a Christmas, rabbit of some kind. I don't know. Maybe it's the new mascot for our intercollegiate sports. Okay, it's a rabbit, but that's okay. I mean, I've seen stranger things on campus before. So I'm walking across the Bridge of Nations, and there's a rabbit just kind of sitting there, not really doing anything. It's all right. So I walk by, but as I walk by, I happen to notice that it has something tied around its neck, and that is a horseshoe around the rabbit's neck. I said, wait a minute, it's a rabbit. It has a rabbit's foot. It's a horseshoe. It's a lucky rabbit. This is like a lucky Christmas day. I'm on the Bridge of Nations, and it's fantastic. But I still have to get to my student. But I think, this is a good rabbit to have. Okay? So I go up there, and I pick him up. And I'm just carrying him under my arm. He's a pretty placid, and it's fantastic. So I'm walking across the Bridge of Nations. And I walk across, finally get to the other side. I'm coming down, I'm about to cross the street. I look across the street. And who should I see standing across the street but the Grinch. The actual Grinch in the flesh, the green flesh. And he's standing there, and he's just looking at me. And I look back, and the cars are going by, and I'm waiting. The crossing guard didn't show up. I'm like, okay, really, guys? I'm waiting across the street. We're just having this stare-off here. I'm holding a rabbit, and I can tell the Grinch is looking at the rabbit. This is my lucky rabbit. I'm not making this up. So finally the car stopped, and I walk across the street, and I walk right at the Grinch. And I say, look, Mr. Grinch, I don't care if you want this rabbit, but you're in my way, and I need to get to my office to talk to the student. Okay? And yes, I have a lucky Christmas rabbit with a horseshoe tied around its neck, and that's great, but you aren't going to stop me. The Grinch looked me right in the eye, and he said, David, I am going to stop you. And I'm going to tell you how I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you by ice skating. How is that going to stop me? He said, just watch. So he goes over, and I suddenly realized that the entire fountain is ice. Wow, this is blowing my mind all of a sudden. And so I'm watching, and sure enough, the Grinch takes out his ice skates, and he puts them on, and he starts skating around, doing these figure eights, and these triple Sal-Cows, and these quadruple Lutzes, and these things. Like, that's absolutely amazing. And so I'm like, this guy's incredible. And so I go to clap, and when I do, the rabbit falls to the ground. And the instant I do that, the Grinch comes running over and grabs the rabbit, and he starts running off. Saying, Mr. Grinch, that was a terrible thing to do. That was my lucky rabbit with the horseshoe tied around its neck, and you said you were going to stop me by ice skating, and you did. That's not fair. That's not fair. What am I supposed to do now? And I turn around, and there behind me, the Grinch is running away, and behind me on the sidewalk, I see a javelin. Javelin. I've had heartache today. I found the lucky rabbit with a horseshoe. The Grinch was there. I thought, his heart had grown 4 sizes, but no. He ice skates, he steals my rabbit, and so I do what a man has to do. I throw the javelin. And it hits the Grinch. And he falls to the ground. And I go over and I pick up my rabbit. And the Grinch looks up at me and he says, I just want you to know that this Christmas, you will never, ever spontaneously I said, cool! Of course I'm not, I've got a lucky rabbit! So I left him he got some medical help. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Public safety came and dragged him off somewhere. I'm guaranteed what happened to him, but I ran to my office, met my students, showed up here at Mongoose. We're going to have a good time tonight. So thanks for coming out. We're going to get started with our first game.